Hello, cupcakes! How are we doing today? If you can hear me, give me some hoops in the chat and let me know that you're excited for tonight's live stream. It's been a while since we've been on here, but tonight should be a real treat because I am here with Rat Benatar, and we're going to be holding a special Bunny University class today, which is to teach you all about how to use AI to start your website slash business in less than 1 hour. We have been experimenting like crazy with all these fun AI tools this week. And if you're anything like us, you've probably already jumped into it, but we've just discovered that there's a million things you can do with it. And so we really want to show that off to you today, and we're going to walk you through it step by step. How are you doing, Rep Benatar? That's like 30 years in NFT time, so it is a long time. Our dear rat is a little sick tonight, so bear with him. Be patient with him. If he loses his voice, we'll be there to catch him. And yeah, let's just hop right into it. Oh, wait. Wait, wait, rat. You know this always happens. Where nobody can hear it, it's like it's on, but it's just it doesn't why doesn't it register? Okay. Talk a little bit for me. Nope, that one's not it. Okay, we'll try the next one. Just like yeah, just hum. Not that one. Just hum or something. Yeah, they can hear you. Can you keep talk? Yeah, keep going for a minute.
Yeah, despite what you might think, I am here.
Okay, there
I'm
we
not
go.
dead yet.
There we go.
All right. Hoop chat. You can hear
Oh,
me now? Sure, hope so.
OBS says they can hear you. And
All
so,
right. Hoop.
yeah.
All right.
Yay, Moon Artist.
Thank you,
Yay.
Moon. Thank you, Moon. Appreciate it. Yeah, so we're going to run through this. And, basically, I'm just going to give a real quick overview of the class, and then we're going to do some live demos. If at any point you have questions, feel free to throw them into the chat. And Stacy's, I'm going to ask you to just try to keep an eye out for questions. Feel free to interrupt me or stop me if something comes up.
You got
And
it.
otherwise, we're just going to go ahead and get started. So today's class, thank you all for joining us. We're going to go over a brief overview of different AI tools, highlighting two in particular: ChatGPT from the company OpenAI, and that is more of a text-based and written content service, and Runway ML, which is more of a multimedia kind of AI service, which deals with image and video and audio augmentation. We're going to provide some practical use cases for these two products. There's a whole lot of these coming out recently. They are, there's a lot of novelty behind them and a lot of fun things that you can do. And while that stuff's great, we're really going to try to focus on extremely practical things that you can do today with them to help launch a new product or business or website. And of course, a live demo of both products. So after this class, you will know how to generate stock images for your website, generate long form and short form marketing content in a variety of mediums. You'll be able to automate the creation of templated content that maybe you send within your business or externally. These things include things like business proposals, emails, team member biographies, product descriptions, and so on. You'll be able to repurpose existing content for use on specific social media platforms, meaning I'll show you how you can curate maybe a blog or repurpose a blog into a Twitter thread or vice versa and things like that. That way you can level up your social media game and launch a new website or business in record time. If you are watching this after this class has already taken place, we would really appreciate if you follow or subscribe on Twitch here at twitch.tv/CryptoStacies. Follow us on Twitter, and of course, join the Honeys Discord to show us what you've made and ask any follow-up questions that you might have, and just hang out in our community and make a whole lot of new friends. So when we talk about AI tools, what I really mean is I'm going to kind of use this term loosely. It's just a generic term referring to any tool that helps generate or augment content in a unique, procedurally generated way. This is not the same as searching Google for existing written or visual content, and these tools vary from assisting with generation and augmentation of written content, images, even writing code, and they are quickly approaching video and audio content. So here are just some quick examples before we actually get into the demo. For instance, on Runway ML, if you wanted to generate some stock photos, you can do something like that, where I can put in a prompt that says, give me a generic modern office environment with nondescript features. And so you can see it's done exactly that. Gives me a couple examples there. Or let's say that, maybe I just want to either create a new background for my website, or honestly, maybe even like a phone wallpaper. I've written, give me a vivid depiction of outer space and a galaxy beyond the Milky Way, an area regularly reminded of the existence of things like black holes or supernovas. It's fun how descriptive you can be, and it will just totally, you can't overload it. Honestly, the more content that you give it, the better. And Runway ML is also really cool if you need to just, if 99% of your photo is perfect, but you just need to touch one special thing up, you can do that where, we have this picture of the Statue of Liberty here. And what I've done is I've highlighted the torch and said, you know what, how about we replace that with an ice cream cone with rainbow sprinkles? And it did exactly that. So these are a little bit sillier examples, but just kind of showing you the power of both tools. And then finally, ChatGPT, I came in here yesterday and said, help, I'm all set to teach this online class about all these powerful things that AI tools can do, and I've not prepared. Can you suggest a few topics that I might want to cover? And it basically wrote an entire agenda for us, which was nice. At which point I said, finally, can you suggest a fun, silly, creative prompt that I might be able to use to generate an image? I want to really impress them with something that'll catch their attention. And it told me to generate an image of a giant pink elephant wearing a tutu and roller skating through the city with a trail of rainbow-colored sprinkles behind it. And as you can see, it did not disappoint. So you can kind of use the two tools interchangeably. You can even use them to work together, which is just really great. So final thing before we jump into the demo, just a couple disclaimers up front. When it comes to copyright with this stuff, because all of this stuff is so new still, copyright infringement is still largely in a gray area. Honeys does not claim to be a legal expert on this. Use any content from these services at your own discretion. Remember that services like ChatGPT may be powerful, but they themselves do not claim to be 100% accurate or perfect when it comes to trying to generate some factual content. So you should always vet the information for accuracy. So yeah, any questions before we jump into demos? Anything I might have missed?
It does not look like we have any questions. One thing that you may have this prepared for later, but is there a price to these tools?
That's an excellent question. Yeah, so ChatGPT is, for now, it's a free service, which you'll be blown away at. And then Runway ML is it's largely free. There are a couple buy-up options for certain things, but for everything that we accomplish in today's demo, you will not need to spend a dime.
Awesome.
Oh, excellent question. Okay. So, what we're going to do is we're going to create a brand new business and website today called Bunny's Cupcake Emporium. And what I'm going to do is basically just set up a brand new website here. I'm using a service called card.co, which is very, very cheap. I think it's like $19 a year. And it's a very just easy to use drag and drop kind of thing. And we're just going to build our website, and I'm going to show you how you can do that with both services. So basically, the way that I want to lay out this website is I'm just going to fill in just a couple quick things. I'm going to put the name of the business up here, and then I'm just going to kind of label a couple different things in here to show off, or almost make a checklist of things that we want to make sure that we cover here. So this will be where we put our business slogan, and then I have 3 different sections. So let's make this the recipes section. You know, trying to think like a bakery, the kind of things that a bakery might have. So recipes. How about locations? And let's do like a meet the team kind of thing. Cool. And then these are the just kind of the individual sections real quick. And meet the team. Okay. So I'm going to start off with ChatGPT. That's where we're going to do the first couple of different things in here, and it's really interesting. It's something where it's extremely conversational and contextual, where like it's very different from like a Google search where you might just put in some keywords to and like a broken sentence to find what you want. Where, you know, the example that they have here is like you can say explain quantum computing in simple terms, and it will go ahead and do that kind of thing. And so just so that you have an idea of kind of what it looks like. So
And so one
I'm
interesting
going to say, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to bring up the fact that, like, one thing that I didn't realize when I first started using it that I've really been using it for is, like, you know, if you're using this for creative reasons, like, not to get actual information, but to like come up with a story or come up with some copywriting, you can feed it information. So I could feed it like a story that I wrote, and then you could ask it, you know, can you write me an extra paragraph about this story about like a specific circumstance, and it can elaborate on that information you gave it. So stuff like that is really useful for you know, a variety of things, but especially like what you're doing here, which is just trying to write copy for you know, a business.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I'm going to attempt to kind of show off the power of that with our first couple prompts here, and just the way that I submit them. So the first thing that I'm going to do here is it's actually kind of what you were saying, Stacey's, which is just kind of setting up the tone and just the overall like premise of what we're about to talk about. So I'm letting it know that I'm trying to create this new business. You know, we're a bakery and cafe that features an array of cupcake flavors. The names of the flavors and their recipes should be inspired by different bunny breeds. Can you help come up with some of those recipes? And so it's all set to do that. And then to your point, basically anything that we put in, you know, beyond this, it's going to respond to it within the context of, okay, the person I'm talking to has this business, Bunny's Cupcake Emporium. And you can see it's pretty quick. It's very, very quick to come up with some great ideas. So we got the Holland Lop. These cupcakes could be made with a rich chocolate fudge cake base topped with a fluffy vanilla buttercream frosting and a sprinkle of cocoa powder. The lion head for a fruity twist. These cupcakes could feature a light and fluffy lemon poppy seed cake topped with a tart raspberry buttercream frosting. All these honestly sound fantastic, and uh, I could just to show off how contextual it is, um, can follow up and say, great. Any more? And so you'll notice I don't even have to say like, I don't have to repeat the previous prompt. I don't have to specify, uh, what it is that I'm asking for more of. It just automatically knows and keeps going. So this will be really helpful for the recipe section of our website.
Yeah, and one thing I found really fascinating about this when I was using ChatGPT was, I was asking it to do something similar. I was asking it to come up with some character names for me, and the character was based off of this month's honey seasons, which are zodiacs. So I said, come up with some names for me based on this character's personality, which is like based on the zodiac. And it gave me a list of names first. So I said, cool, why did you choose this name? And it actually was able to justify me why it made the choices it made. So like some of them, it was like, well, this was a famous person in history that had like similar personality traits, or like this had something to do with the mythology. So it's very interesting. And I bet, if you were to do something like that with this, where you went back and said, why did you choose like carrot cake for this particular cupcake, it would give you like a good logical reason why it did it, which is so interesting.
It reasons with you. It can back up the ideas. Wild. So I'm going to ask it just a couple more questions, and in the meantime, try to feed it just a little bit more context, letting it know that the bakery is run by Bunny Queen Micah, and it's located in Bunny Kingdom. And I'm going to ask it, can you imagine what Bunny Queen Micah might come up with as the slogan for the bakery? Which is like, this is kind of a subtle little manipulation or way to use the tool that Stacey's and I have been kind of like honing in on, which is I would probably get a slightly different and less like fantasy based response if I just said, can you tell me a slogan for the business, as opposed to saying, hey, there's this character named Bunny Queen Micah and they're located in the Bunny Kingdom. Can you imagine what this specific character might come up with as the slogan? And so it almost tries to imagine, within that context, what a character like this might come up with, and it just kind of puts it in that voice a little bit more.
Oh my god, these are so cute. I'm dying. Yeah, there's so many ways to use this. I mean, even if we take a couple steps back from where we are now, the whole way that we came up with what the fake business would be was with asking this for ideas. The way we came up with the name was asking it to list name ideas. So really, there's like no limit to where you can to where you can stop using your brain and just have ChatGPT do it for you.
Absolutely. So I'm just going to I want to pick this this first recipe here to highlight in the recipe section. Actually, I'll come back to that in a second. Let's see. Okay, so we have our slogan here. We know that we're going to have a recipe section here, locations here, meet the team. So we already know that when it comes to actually filling out some of these recipes, that we are, we'll have like a featured image here, and we'll clean this up a little bit more in a few moments. But for now, I'm just going to copy and paste this stuff in here, so that way we have it. So copy and paste some of our recipes into the recipe section. Next is locations, and we know that right now the bakery is located in the Bunny Kingdom, and I want to know. I want to say because Bunny Queen Micah is she's very business savvy, um, and we're going to say she's interested in franchising, and I want to see. You imagine a few fictional, comical locations that she is thinking about expanding to outside of the Bunny Kingdom. And this will help cook up the second of our 3 sections for the website. All right, so she's considering opening up in Dragon's Lair. Sounds a little dicey.
A lot of burnt cupcakes
Unicorn
there.
Meadows sounds a little more friendly. Gnomeville. Mermaid Lagoon. Shout outs to Mermaid Power and Fairy Glen.
And there's so many interesting ways to customize this. It'll really understand what you're asking for. So if Rat was to go back in and say, that was good, but try again, and keep in mind that every single being that lives in this universe is a Smurf. There is no other race on the entire planet other than Smurfs. It would probably give you a much different, more specific answer regarding that. And so so the more information you give it, it really gets more detailed. We're gonna try it. Let's see what happens, chat.
Smurf Village, of course.
Of course, a classic. The Smurf Fort. It's really going all in.
Oh, sure.
The Smurf Town.
Well, if you love Smurfs, you just gotta Smurf it up.
It's right. They even have a beach with crystal clear waters.
Smurf Mountain. For all those slightly edgier Smurfs. They're a little more Daredevil-ish. Not that I don't love Smurfs.
No, I'm with you. And yeah, this, like, asking it to forget details is something that I've been learning recently too. And it's such a polite bot.
Chatbot. So polite. It's so polite. And it's also very wholesome. If you ask it to tell any kind of story for you, it almost doesn't matter, it almost doesn't matter like what kind of characters you're dealing with. Chances are the story has a real happy ending where just, in the end, everybody realized the importance of friendship and that they should all get along with each other, and they all had a great time.
Something fascinating happened to me the other day along that vein, which is I was asking it to, I forget, give me ideas for something. Oh, it was like how a character met their companion. And it was like, well, on this alien planet, this alien got abandoned by its previous owner. And it told me this story. And I was like, that's good, but that story is too sad. Can you make it a little happier? And it kind of knew what I was talking about because it took out the whole abandoned part. And I was like, how does it know, like, what I'm referring to as sad? That is so interesting.
Wow. Okay, so we have recipes largely done, locations largely done. Now we're just going to do a quick meet the team, and I'm going to let it know that Bunny Queen Micah has one other employee.
Let me know, guys, if you can read the screen okay, because I know the text is a little small. We might be able to zoom in if you can't, but if you can, that's awesome.
Okay, so I'm letting it know that there are two people running this bakery, and I'm going to ask it to come up with a very brief biography for each character that they can put on their website's Meet the Team page.
And so, outside of this context, this actually works great for real life scenarios. I don't know if any of you have been through this in the corporate world, but trying to put together a bio is like the worst thing ever. So, don't do that. Just copy and paste your resume and some bullet points about yourself, and ask ChatGPT to put together a bio for you that can fit on the website, and it will do that, and then you don't have to.
Yeah, there's so many cool things that you can do like that. We'll try to, with some extra time at the end, if we have it, we'll try to cover just a couple additional use cases that are not just relevant for your personal life or your business life, like Stacy's mentioned, but also like some stuff that's actually pretty pertinent to Web3 and NFTs and all that good stuff. All right, cool. So we got two biographies here. Bunny Queen Micah. As the founder and owner of Bunny's Cupcake Emporium, Bunny Queen Micah is a skilled baker and businesswoman with a passion for all things sweet. With her years of experience and her keen eye for detail, Micah ensures that every cupcake that leaves her bakery is of the highest quality. In her free time, Micah enjoys spending time with her bunny friends and coming up with new, creative cupcake flavors. Whereas Rat, although he may not be as skilled a baker as Bunny Queen Micah, Rat is a valuable member of the Bunny's Cupcake Emporium team. That's right. With his cheerful personality and eagerness to learn, Rat is always willing to lend a helping hand or paw wherever he's needed. And in his free time, Rat enjoys exploring the Bunny Kingdom and spending time with his friends. So we'll put this in the website real quick. This is our Meet the Team section. Oops. Cool. And actually, I'm just going to split this text section up so that way each of us can have a picture in here in just a moment. Cool.
And if you
Okay. So we basically have all of our written content here. I'm going to fill these in super quick. I know I'm doing it manually. Gross, but There we go. Okay. Save it up real quick. Yeah, this there are 100 different options that you can use when it comes to um, building out a website. Uh, this does not have to be the choice that you have. Basically, after the class, you're going to be presented with a kind of like a whole list of resources and different tools with all kinds of information on them. And that includes not just these AI tools, but different website building tools and things like that. So if you're watching this and wondering where to find all of these resources, we'll make sure that that's available for you in places like our Discord, Twitter, and eventually YouTube under the description as well. So now I think it's time we actually start getting into the images and do the second half of our website to really finish this thing up. So I'm going to say, when I'm looking at this, this looks like we need some kind of a really nice sort of like brand logo kind of thing here. I'd like to highlight a recipe here. Uh, put a picture of the actual location of the bakery right here, and then I'll find one of our team photos that we can put right in here for Meet the Team. So I can actually just ask ChatGPT to help me come up with the kind of prompt that I can put into our other AI tool that we're going to be using, which is Runway. So let's see. What kind of prompt might I be able to generate an image with if I want to create the brand logo for Bunny's Cupcake Emporium? So this is an example of great things that it can help you suggest. And maybe I wasn't specific enough in my prompt to ask it. These are all great questions if I actually wanted to go ahead and design this myself. But as you may know, I am no artist at all. It'd probably be helpful for Stacy's, but not for me. So I'm going to say I'd like to take a prompt and put it into DALL-E. DALL-E is the kind of like ChatGPT's counterpart. Same company, but they do text to image stuff. So I'll be a little bit more specific.
Yeah, and sometimes it does take a little bit of just tweaking to figure out exactly how you want to say things. I find that being very direct and giving it the instruction is the best way for me. And sometimes you just gotta tweak it a little bit. And in this case, you can see that those small changes did get us to the result that we wanted.
Absolutely. And we could do an entire class just on this tool as well. This, personally, I feel like this is probably the most underrated tool out there right now in the whole section of, or in the whole space of AI, services. Again, this is called Runway ML for machine learning. The reason that I say that is because It's got all kinds of stuff that you can do. It doesn't just do text to image. It does all sorts of things with like video augmentation and audio augmentation. You can generate subtitles based off of an audio clip or remove the background in a video and not just an image. Million different things we can do. For now, I'm just going to use text to image here. So I'm going to put that prompt that I received, and I'm going to say a brand logo for a fictional business called Bunny's Cupcake Emporium, featuring a cute cartoon bunny holding a cupcake and surrounded by colorful swirling patterns and sprinkles. I'm also just going to tweak a few settings over here, and I can say for the style, I want it to be fantasy. The medium, we'll say pastel, and the mood, colorful. And we're going to generate 4 prompts. And if I don't like any of them, we can just hit it again. I'll get 4 different prompts, or excuse me, different results that we'll probably like a little bit better. There we go.
One option I'm seeing that I'm liking too is it looks like you can change the output resolution, which is not a feature currently in DALL-E.
Oh, yeah.
And it's very important for, like, if you're going to actually use this stuff, like, you kind of need high resolution versions, which is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, good call. And the aspect ratio as well, which is super nice. I forget if DALL-E has that or not.
No, I don't. It doesn't. What's the magic model button do?
So that's actually really neat. You can, by default, it's just going off of its own like set of knowledge. But if I wanted to, I could load up like 300 or 500 or 1,000 different images to kind of generate my own like base to start from, and basically just like make it my own. Have it generate things based off like the information that I tell it to learn from.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, what I've been waiting for is something that I can upload all my honeys into, all my seasons drawings, and say, okay, make me new stuff in this art style. And then suddenly I'm just an art factory.
Yeah, you could. We should try that.
Yeah,
that would probably work.
Yeah, you take over the stream. I'm gonna.
Yeah. Bear with us 20 more minutes. Let's see. Okay, we got our brand logo there. Now, I want it to... We're going to make our featured image for one of our recipes. And so I'm going to say... I'm going to do the same general prompt here, but
we did have one question that came up in the Discord chat, actually, that I'm just seeing now, which was, are you aware of what the licensing for programs like Runway ML and ChatGPT are? How can you use the images created by those programs? For example, can you use them for personal gain or not?
Yeah, so that's an excellent question, and we made a note of that on the top of the stream, where it's kind of complicated, and kind of our stance at this moment. Sorry if this isn't super satisfying answer, but We can't really tell you, we're not the legal experts on what's fair use of these tools. If you take a look at like OpenAI's website, or if you go through Runway ML's website, you can probably find more information. However, there are also just like, if you were to try to Google some of those questions and see what comes up, in my research so far, basically the overwhelming response is like, copyright law is currently not able to keep up with how quickly this tech is evolving. So, we kind of ask you to do your own research before you actually go ahead and use these for any kind of personal gain or profit. Yeah, I don't know if you have anything to add on that, Stasis, if you've seen anything else or not.
Yeah, as far as the company specific ones, I'm not sure about Runway ML. I know that Dolly allows a commercial use with their outputs, which is cool. And I believe ChatGPT, I looked it up, and what it said was basically that like it's right now being trained and it's like a test and it's for research, and like it's not, the output is not really intended to be attributed to any one specific person. So I believe, like, from what I understand, what they're expecting is that if you output something with ChatGPT, just say that you use ChatGPT with it. Now, obviously, like, that's from my vague understanding of like what I've seen. So definitely do your own research. But there's like a vague overview for you of what I've read so far.
Cool.
That's a delicious cupcake photo.
It is. It is a delicious cupcake.
Getting hungry.
And we're going to do one more image here because, obviously this is the kind of thing where if you are really trying to set up your website, your business, you can take all kinds of time to really fine tune things. But I hope you're at least getting the idea, even though we're kind of currently just taking some of the first choices that show up. Okay, and then final thing we're getting here is going to get an image. And so basically this is going to show off the actual storefront itself of Bunny's Cupcake Emporium. And I'm going to mess with this slider this time. This is another neat thing on Runway ML, which is called prompt weight, where I can basically the higher this is, the more true to life it's going to be with the prompt that I put in, and the lower it is, the more kind of abstract and loose it's going to be based on my prompt. So we'll put that up just a little bit, see what happens.
That's a very interesting additional feature as well that is not currently in Dolly. I like that a lot. Ooh. Those are pretty. One thing I'm really waiting for with this is that none of them seem to generate text or typography of any kind very well. And I'm like, oh, I want that.
Yeah. The two things, if you haven't messed with these yet, kind of the two things that are like that are, it's a little unfortunate, but it's definitely getting better all the time. Which is, one of them is text. The other is like faces. Like if you if you have it like try to generate like humans or like certain animals,
Yeah.
sometimes some of the results are a little frightening. Um,
It can be great though for stock images, like especially things that are ethical or that you wouldn't have normal access to. So like when we were doing the No Hot Dogs campaign over the summer and I wanted pictures for an ad for like of like a dog wearing sunglasses like in a car but like sitting like a human with his like paw hanging out the window, and it was able to generate that for me really really well. And obviously like we would never want to actually go take that like as something that's like doing animal rights. So it was just so useful to like have that. It's the fake meat of stock images, basically.
All right, I'm going to use one last tool here to get our meet the team picture, which is just we'll see if this works. Sometimes this is good for like it works really well. Sometimes it does not. Still trying to learn how to get it to do exactly what I want, but this is called the erase and replace tool. Where like to give you one quick example, I just highlighted the heart, kind of the face tattoo that Bunny Queen Micah here has. And I'm going to say, replace that with a cupcake with rainbow sprinkles. This tool is like super nice because obviously a lot of the hype is around like these text to image kinds of things, which is great because you can generate entire new images. But the fact that you can just take like an existing image that you really like, but you just want to change one tiny thing about it, is like huge. So we'll replace the face heart with face cupcake, and let's try to give her one of those like big fancy chef hat, bakery hat kind of thing.
Yeah, so you can definitely imagine how powerful this is. Like, say you work in an industry like graphic design and you have a client who just has this stock photo they love, but they need the guy to be holding like a beer can instead of a glass. Like without hours of photo editing, have the power to just create that, which is super awesome.
Totally. Or like, which was what I was. It's like this example here, just to show off, not not for how practical it is, but how easy it is to kind of change something like that.
Yeah.
There you go. It's kind of close, but yeah. Well, we tried. You have a nice little face tattoo there. Again, I'm not going to spend the time to tweak that and get it absolutely perfect, but
You guys get the picture.
exactly. Cool. Okay, we got our different images here. Locations. We can do one more image here actually. We're gonna do I'm actually going to take a prompt that I used last night and I really liked it. So I'm just going to real quick copy and paste that in.
I'm seeing that Runway ML has a really interesting feature. Actually, they have a specific tool to train your own AI. So you can upload like 30 different images of a specific object or style and create new images based off of that. So I am pretty keen to try that out after the stream is done and see how that looks. Have you tried that one, Rat?
Sorry, which one?
It's called the custom generator in Runway.
Oh, yeah, that one might be a paid tool. Just as a heads up, I could be wrong.
Yeah, it says there's a one-time $10 payment, and then you get to train it. You get to train it on like 30 of your images, and you get 100 image generations with that.
Perfect.
Really curious what that looks like for artists stylistically. I was told to tell you that the simps are watching. Thank God, because would we want to do this without the simps, Sonny?
So check this out. I like this. This is the... I had it generate kind of the land of the Bunny Kingdom, which is just super adorable.
I love that. It looks like a cute little storybook.
Yeah, and like, I'll take the absolute quickest detour, but I'll show you one last thing about Runway ML, and then we're gonna finish up with some final Chat GPT stuff, and then we'll be done. But one of the really nice tools that I really like about Runway is this thing called Infinite Image, where you can put in a given image, like the one that we just generated, and say something like, this is, again, one of those things where you kind of have to be really specific with it, so it may or may not work great, but you can say like, a pool of water with a path next to it and a bench where the bunnies are gathered. Basically, what you're able to do is just take an existing image and continue building off of it and off of it, forever. Hence the name Infinite Image. There you go. See how it'll just like kind of imagine the next step of that image. So once again, it's just like creating new content based off of existing content. So that way you can keep kind of building this out. If we ever wanted to make like a giant mural for like, say, like a video game map or something like that. So it's like just really interesting. Anyway.
Yeah. Dolly has that right now, but I don't like the business model because it basically costs you a credit every time you do a new section on the picture. So it's really not practical for...
Yeah. Yeah, the credit system is really difficult. Why I'm a little bit nervous for ChatGPT. I'm kind of milking it for being free while I can.
Yeah, definitely... Definitely go comment, leave ChatGPT feedback, and just let them know, your thoughts about like a business model. I kind of tweeted at them and I was like, hey, whatever you guys like do to monetize this, like just don't do like something like the credit system where it really stifles your creativity, because I'd rather just pay monthly for doing it as many times as I want kind of thing. So definitely give them feedback now before they make decisions if you have a stake in this, everybody. I have a stake in it because I can't live without it now. It's part of my life.
Me too. So we're going to finish up with just a few things here. Our website's basically done and ready to go, and so we're just going to show off a couple like extra tools for practical things that you might use, or at least might help you get going when it comes to actually like launching a product or business or website. So the first thing I did was tried to basically write a press release for the grand opening of Bunny's Cupcake Emporium. And this will be important for a few reasons. Number one, you could quite literally use this as a press release and send it out and get it picked up by syndicated publishing. Or you can now take this and say like, okay, well, this is great, but I also, I have 4 other social media platforms that I need to announce this on. And so I can say, can you reformat this as a Twitter thread? And it will know that, Twitter character count is 280 characters. And so it's going to basically rewrite this as, a thread that I can use in Twitter. It even knows to put in emojis because that's obviously a popular thing there.
So that's great if you're an NFT founder, because we all know that like the amount of cross-posting between Discord announcements and your partner announcements and your Twitter and your Instagram is like so strenuous, and this really takes out the hellish amount of sweat equity that you have to put in to make a simple announcement.
I'm going to ask, what are some clickbait titles that the Bunny Queen can use for her YouTube content? Because Bunny Queen's not above the attention game, doing whatever it takes.
You won't believe what happens when I try
to make a cupcake in under 60 seconds. This is what happens.
This is the Mr. Beast of Bunny Queen Micah.
Absolutely. Excellent. And then you can even just like one of the things that I think Stacey's mentioned this earlier, like these tools are really like for certain aspects of them, they're really only as powerful as the input that they receive from you, like, and it's really like it's a skill and like something that you can kind of develop over time. And if you are sitting here looking at this going like, it's great that it can elaborate on all of these different business ideas, but I don't even know where to start. You can allow it to. You can just ask it to help you brainstorm ideas, and so you can say like, I am looking to start a new business. My 3 favorite hobbies are drinking beer, watching YouTube, and traveling. How might I monetize this? I'm familiar with how most social media platforms work, and I'm on my computer a lot. Definitely not pulling from personal experience.
One thing that I love to do too when I'm doing stuff like this is just straight up ask it to give me a list of like 10 ideas. And it's really good about that. So if you just want to, like, if you just want it to list you a bunch of different stuff that you can sift through, that is something that you can get out of it.
Absolutely. So, there were a couple. Obviously, we could, if we had all the time in the world, we could clean this up just a little bit better. But I hope you can see the idea that it really doesn't take much to set up some kind of a landing page here. I'm actually going to put in a background image super quick. So that way we can publish this. And just like that, you have a website and you're ready to go. And we hit the mark of getting that all done, starting a brand new business in under an hour, which is pretty hot.
Even with me talking the whole time and derailing us. So it's less than an hour realistically.
Yeah, less than an hour.
And it can't.
I think we clarified. Yeah, 1 hour or less.
It might be hard to compare this to, like, if you've never done this, but I've done this many times. I've built many a websites, and writing copy, like, for website sections alone that's this high quality would take so much longer. Like, it cannot be understated how much time this can save you. Yeah, and this is another great example too that Rat's bringing up, is if you're in the blog post writing industry.
Exactly. Because, yeah, being able to just have it get you at least 95% of the way there will save you so much time. So that way you can spend that additional now free time on doing stuff that you love. So before we wrap up for tonight, I'm just going to kind of go over one final thing, not on these tools, but just to let you know, kind of if you're brand new to Bunny University or if you're watching on YouTube after the fact, this is Bunny University is a class that our project Honeys started back in August of 2022. And basically what we are trying to do with this program is to provide free educational courses on basically just like modern tech, different things that might be going on that could be helpful for you in, kind of whatever you're doing, whether it be in the Web3 space or really trying to do some more like freelance or self-employment kind of work. And so basically every single class that we run comes with a syllabus that we're going to end up providing. And this will be available in the Honeys Discord as well as the link in the description of the YouTube video. With every single one of these assignments, we basically provide you with an assessment, kind of a checklist that you go through. And it's your job to come through and if you're up to it, you can go through this list, check off all the boxes as you complete them, and then turn this document back over to us at the Honeys team. And as long as everything looks good, we will send you an NFT class certificate saying that you are certified in using AI tools to start a new website or business. And it's our hope that will If you are going out there and trying to pick up things like contract work, or if you're building up a portfolio, if you are really just trying to, get some things under your belt for, a new freelance operation that you're starting. That way you can use these different certificates to show that you have the knowledge in these areas, and hopefully get some new work for you. The links in here at the bottom. We'll put in the replay video from the original class. The slide deck is in here that we went over, all the different AI tools, some website tools, and how to get in touch with us at any point. So with that, I think that's all we got. What do you think, Stacey? What do you think, chat?
Yeah, that was great. Even I learned some stuff this class, and I was running the class, so that's cool. Goes to show what a good teacher Rat Benatar is. Let us know. Do you have any questions, chat? Just go ahead and type them. We can wrap up by answering a few questions, and if not, we'll say goodnight, and we'll make sure to post those resources for y'all right as soon as we can. Moon Artist says, thank you. So great, Rat. You're a hero. The other thing I'd love, chat, is just to know, like, if you have found any creative ways to use ChatGPT or Runway ML. I'm, like, messing with these tools constantly now, and I have a lot of friends who are too, and we're just getting really into like sharing our prompt ideas and like tactics for using this. So if you have anything cool in that regard that you discover while using these tools, please do let us know and share, and together we'll build a database of, just all the best information.
Yeah, we could go for hours and hours and hours longer on all the ways that you can use these tools. So I'm really looking forward to that. Looking forward to building up a collection of prompts and new ways to use this. And yeah, thanks for having us, chat. Thanks for co-hosting with me, Stacey's. Class is dismissed.
Class is dismissed. Thank you so much, chat. We will see you cupcakes next time. Later.